Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In today's video, in this particular play, we're going to be taking a look at Brenton Strange here because he is now your starting tight end. And whether we're talking about Liam Cohn, we're talking about Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, BTJ, Brenton Strange, who, by the way, I think is just a diamond in the rough. Now that Evan Ingram is gone and he's with Denver, and I know, he was injured for what he played, like 7 games last season. Brenton Strange never really got a full shot with Trevor Lawrence being his starting quarterback because of the Lawrence injury. Now, I'm really big on Liam Cohn. I live down here in the Tampa Bay area, and one thing I know is Liam Cohn's going to fix your offense. And the last time, or I should say, I don't mean that to even sound rude, he's going to fix your running offense is rather what I meant to say, which I think is going to fix Trevor Lawrence if he even needs to be fixed other than just having a more competent coach, more competent offensive weaponry list with BTJ entering his sophomore campaign and Travis Hunter. I think that's going to take a ton of pressure off of BTJ as far as coverage goes. But Liam Cohn, like I said, I live down here in Tampa. And so I post a ton of Bucs videos. I watch a ton of Bucs games. And one thing, and I also cover the Buccaneers, one thing he did a phenomenal job of was getting this run game back on track. In our last Jags video, I talked about Bashaw Tutin because I think he is also a diamond in the rough and a hidden gem. And it reminds me of Tampa 1 year ago where, I've covered Tampa for like 4 years now. They've always been the worst running unit in the NFL. And last season, they were top 5. And they have Bucky Irving. They got Rashad White. They also have Sean Tucker. And I compared it to having ETN, Bigsby, and of course, Bashaw Tutin. But what I think having at least like an above average run game this upcoming season, it's going to free up Trevor Lawrence to take these big time shots because what he's so good at, and this is a 30-yarder, and I really love just kind of this route concept where you got Parker Washington in here, Brenton Strange. We're going to get number 9 and 23 on the Cleveland Browns defensive back room. We're going to get these guys a little bit confused here. And just this split kind of second frees up Strange completely, and he's going to come down with this 30-yarder. But if there's one thing I do know about Trevor Lawrence is he's very good with the deep ball, and I think that run game, play action, all that fun stuff is going to really help out this offense. So let's get into some film. So unless you're a Jags fan or you're an NFL fantasy football guy or you're just a hardcore NFL dude, you probably weren't watching too many Jags games last season. Brian Thomas Jr. just had a stellar rookie season. And here's just kind of a glimpse of what you saw all last year. And I know it gets a little bit, zoomed out. We're looking at all 22 here. Doug Peterson is Thomas just to go, and Liam Cohn seriously knows what he is doing when it comes to offense. But Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, and it goes all the way back to when he beat me and I didn't go to Notre Dame, but my bandwagon, I guess, team that I like in college football, Notre Dame, he broke my heart in the playoffs many, many moons ago. I will never believe that Trevor Lawrence is a bad quarterback. All right, I just can never really fathom that. I think he's very good. I think he's very talented, and they just needed a new offense. They needed a new guy, at the regimen at head coach. They needed a new offensive coordinator. They needed a new weaponry in Travis Hunter, a top pick in the NFL draft, because BTJ is on his way to stardom. And like I said, unless you're a fantasy football guy or you're a Jags fan or an NFL guy, you already know BTJ has kind of already reached that stardom level, but because he was a rookie, we want to see it for one more season. So here's just a simple, go route. We're looking at a yes-no read here, essentially, because we got a defensive back here. He's pressing, got him on a step, and who do I trust? Number 4 on the Houston Texans defensive back room, Kamari Lassiter, who also was a talented rookie, or do I trust my wide receiver number 1 in BTJ? So we'll get into some touchdowns here because the bread and butter really for Jacksonville and all 31 other teams in the NFL is going to come down to the red zone efficiency and scoring touchdowns as opposed to field goals. All right, here we go. We got week 1, and this was a tough one because you're going to see this. This is a 3rd and 11. We're on Miami's, or you're on Miami's 14-yard line. We're taking a look at BTJ here, and I just think this is such a talented throw with just beautiful touch. And it's not technically a 20-yarder, it kind of is because of where Trevor Lawrence's feet are and the red zone. People say he's also bad under pocket. Now, this other angle is going to give you a better kind of view, but I just think the touch on this football is very good. And, ooh, my thing's glitching. Hold on. I'm making a YouTube video. Hit that like button, by the way, guys. It makes a very big difference. I try to post as many Jags videos as we possibly can because I really love the colors. I really love the jerseys that you guys wear. And I don't know, there's just always something about Jacksonville and the Jaguars offense. So here we go. I want you to pay attention to his eyes here because you got Gabe Davis also in our bottom right of the screen. You see Trevor Lawrence is looking. We're going to watch his eyes here. He's looking right. He's going through his progressions. Now we're looking left. We're looking at, I think this is going to be Gabe Davis, like I said. Yeah, it's going to be Gabe Davis. Then you're going to see just a quick right here. I actually paused it perfectly, and you can't even see where BTJ is. He's right here. I can barely see him as well. And Trevor Lawrence is looking right at him. And he's going to throw with great anticipation, but even better touch. Under pressure. And BTJ comes down with a phenomenal catch, getting both feet in bounds. But we got four Dolphins defenders right here. And like I said, I just really think this touch is beautiful. And a healthy Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, should be a very big difference maker for Liam Cohn's offense this upcoming season. But I feel like that's obvious. All right, getting back to some Brenton Strange hype. We got Trevor Lawrence, QB1. And we got Strange doing this. We got Thomas kind of doing this. And what that's going to do is free up this, or you'll see it in a second. I'll dissect it. Because you got a bunch of Colts defenders here. And like I said, I'm all aboard the Brendan Strange hype train. That didn't rhyme. I thought it was possibly going to rhyme. But we got 4 Colts defenders here and only 2 Jacksonville wide receivers. And Brian Thomas Jr. is just commanding a lot of this. We got open room right here. So Trevor Lawrence sees that, throws it strong, throws it high where his tight end can catch this football. This guy's not going to be able to deflect it, even if he jumps up. Just a firm football and a great throw from Trevor Lawrence to Brenton Strange. So as some of you may know, I'm a diehard Green Bay Packers fan. We got a beautiful route here with Brian Thomas Jr., and this was a really stressful game. Green Bay barely squeaks this one out. We got Javon Bullard right there, and you're going to see Brian Thomas Jr. do a great job at getting separation. What we're looking for here are these linebackers, particularly this linebacker, the middle linebacker, and we're going to see what he does in coverage because it's 2nd and 5. This puts you guys into the lead halfway through the third quarter, and we see Brian Thomas Jr. just get beautiful separation on Javon Bullard, and he kind of bobbles that, which I think this is a very good football throw. But anyways, keep an eye right here on BTJ making that move, getting that split second or two of separation from Javon Bullard, the rookie out of Georgia for my Green Bay Packers. And what we're watching right now is these linebackers, all these guys, Edger and Cooper. These guys are worried about the check down right here. We got first down at the 9. So we got a running back right here. We're watching that. So they don't drop back. They're staying here. Trevor Lawrence sees this. Plenty of open space. He knows Brian's making his move right now. You can already see Javon getting beat. And he's just going to step into it and throw it. And so it's just simple stuff. I didn't really show you anything in today's video that is like, oh my God, Trevor Lawrence is crazy. But I think with the proper offensive guy in Liam Cohn, the proper running back room and all 3 that you guys have now with Liam Cohn, and also Travis Hunter, and a sneaker and Brenton Strange, it's just simple stuff. And I think there's like a pretty decent amount of people that are hot taking. I don't think it's like the hottest take ever, maybe just because of win-loss record, but there's a lot of people saying that, Jacksonville not only could win or is going to win the AFC South, but also that Trevor Lawrence is going to be at least an MVP candidate. And, we got the NFL season starting tonight. Technically, you guys don't play till Sunday against Carolina. But if I had to give you an opinion on it, I really do think Trevor Lawrence will be in the MVP conversation. Where he ranks in that is up for personal opinion. But I don't think it's that crazy of a take to say Trevor Lawrence is about to have an MVP-ish or esque season. So, folks, that's it for me. Just a simple Trevor Lawrence video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and let me know down below. Do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to be in MVP talks this upcoming season? Down below. Thank you for watching. Peace.